I tell you, this is what you call a perfect night. Two former Lady Panthers just days away from Pitt, Penn State. I need all the mojo I can get. Blue and gold, blue and gold. I got a lot of friends who went to Penn State. My son goes to Penn State, but I'm all about Pitt, and I'm hoping for a win. 3:30, 93.7 The Fan. Sally Shear joins us, of course, on the AT&T Sports Line, and Beth Tarazzi, we just talked to moments ago. She's with us here at the club at Shadow Lake, so I figured why not keep her around, because we're going to pay tribute to a lady. Because of her, both of these women were able to find themselves playing college basketball at one of the best schools in the country, the University of Pittsburgh. Sally, it's great to have you here. And before we talk anything about Ruth Podbilski, a Beaver Falls native, I want to talk to you about your days playing at Pitt. Long before it became must-watch or must-see TV, NCAA women's basketball, my favorite thing to watch on television. So the early days, the 80s, playing at Pitt, what was it like?
Rob, I just had this conversation with somebody this week. They asked me about playing at Pitt, and did I play in the Big East? And I said, did I play in the Big East? I played when there were only 9 teams, and we played everybody home and away. Unlike now, you have, 16, 18 teams in a conference, and you might play somebody once, and you might have to play them on the road versus playing them at home. And we got to play in all, at Syracuse in the Manley Fieldhouse. People said, did you get to play in the Carrier Dome? And I'm like, well, why would we want to play in the Carrier Dome when we could play in Manley Fieldhouse? And we got to play in the little gym up at Storrs, Connecticut, and played in Villanova's little gym. So to a lot of fans, they might not like that, but as a player, it was just the greatest to be able to play in those kind of gyms and those kind of environments.
I'll say it again, and Sally can quote me, and she knows it's a fact. The greatest coach I've ever seen coach a game while doing basketball play-by-play, and I believe she's one of the greatest coaches in the country, Susie McConnell-Serio. Your days playing at Pitt, and I actually got to see a few of the pictures when I visited their house a while back in her Panther uniform, and I was pretty stoked about that. So tell me about playing at Pitt.
Totally different.
Yeah, it was all good.
No, but I have a totally different experience. We were not in the Big East. We were independent at the time. The men were in the Eastern 8, but at the time we were independent. So we went down, we played in Alabama, we played in Michigan, we played in Indiana, we played at Ohio State. We played in a lot of the big stadiums. We played a lot of games. We didn't play necessarily home and away series with teams. We did with Penn State though. But we played all over the country. The NCAA was just taking over, I believe, my junior year, and we were just starting to feel the effects of their rules and regulations. When I played, they didn't have the three-point line, and we played with the boys basketball. So it was totally, and then it changed in the 80s. They got a smaller ball, they had the three-point line, and then they had these conferences. When I was there, they were trying to, Title IX had passed, and they were trying to build a team. So Pitt put a lot of money into the program. We were treated well, we flew everywhere. We got a lot of different benefits, but I'll tell you what, we worked hard.
No doubt, no doubt. And listen, now I want to talk about the real reason that we came here tonight, other than your wonderful golf tournament coming up. Ruth Podbilski, age 90, passed away April 3rd at Indian Haven. She was born in Beaver Falls, a place that I know very well. Same year as my father, by the way, 1926. She graduated in 1944, Slippery Rock in 49, health and physical education for 40 years at IUP. This is good stuff, folks. This is what a good life and career is all about. She began her career in Butler, then went to IUP in 55. She coached intramural women's basketball and volleyball with no other opportunities for young ladies at the time. There was nothing else they could do. Transported players back and forth, made sandwiches for them, washed their uniforms. She helped the university add 10 women's sports, IUP Medal of Distinction in 2013. It gets better. President of the Women's Golf Association of Western Pennsylvania, 94-95. And Sally and I love ladies golf as she does. First, I can hear Susie McConnell saying, just call it golf. Don't call it ladies golf. Just call it golf. Okay, give me one.
I'm right on that page too.
I know. I was waiting for somebody to say that. I rehearsed, but I couldn't get around it. First woman to serve on the Board of Governors of Indiana Country Club. First chair of the IUP Athletic Hall of Fame. Got to do all of this, folks. Memorial contributions may be made to the Foundation for IUP Ruth Podbilski Women's Athletic Scholarship Fund, Indiana University, Indiana, PA 15705. Western Pennsylvania Amateur Four-Ball Tournament at Indiana Country Club. Deadline Monday, September 11th. Tournament will begin September 26th. Talk about Ruth. I know how much she meant to you, as she has meant to a whole lot of people in her long and illustrious life, Sally.
You know, Rob, I was fortunate to meet Ruth through golf, although, as you just mentioned, her involvement with IUP, I probably should have known her many years before that, but I am actively involved in the Women's Golf Association of Western Pennsylvania, which she was a president. I've got to play golf with her. I got to spend time with her in the clubhouse afterwards, and she was just the neatest lady, but she truly was a pioneer, an advocate, a trailblazer, a champion for women. And I kind of pull into people like Pat Head Summit. People just think they did stuff for sports, but they did things for women and laid groundwork and created opportunities that carried over not only to sports, but into every aspect of life. And she was just a champion for women in general, not just women athletes.
Listen, it's appropriate. My daughter doing her nightly 5 hours of homework from Quigley. She's got her East Liverpool Potter hoodie on, and I'm hugging her, trying to ask her, do you want me to get you something to eat? I can't help you with your homework. I'm not smart enough, but I'll do whatever I can to help. But every time I think about my daughter in any kind of athletics, I think about you, Sally. I think about people like Beth, about Susie. And this lady, as I was looking over her obituary today, literally I get choked up because I know that my daughter would have never had a chance to play elementary school basketball, and even have thought, I see this great teams at Quigley, which my daughter's not a part of, but when I see them out on the floor, I think of trailblazers such as you ladies and this lady, who the name Pabilski, Beaver Falls, I have connections to that as well, and it's a story that needs to be told, and I don't think we can say enough good about her, right?
No way.
I mean, that's pretty, and here's the thing, what blows my mind of all of that, and I'm on the soapbox now, these young ladies had no other opportunities but intramural. That's hard. That would be hard for my daughter to even fathom.
I did not have those opportunities growing up. It only happened in 7th or 8th grade that they opened sports up to girls.
That's incredible.
It was incredible. And
we now know why, because we were afraid they were going to be better than us. That's exactly what it was. Hey, I got to ask you about this golf tournament. Talk to me about this 4-ball stroke play. Prizes are going to be awarded in both gross and net 90% handicap divisions. I'm just saying this because real golfers know what we're talking about. 2 competitors play as partners, each playing their own ball. The lower score of the partners is the team score for the whole. And if you go to the website that Sally's going to give you, you can get all this information. Go ahead, Sally.
Well, first we'll start with the website is www.PSWGA, Pennsylvania State Women's Golf Association. And it is a tournament that a lot of women do know about, but we're still looking for more women to know. It's for amateur golfers. Your handicap has to be, I believe it's 24. But you grab a partner, it's $110 a person. There are going to be plenty of prizes, lunches involved. There's just a lot of camaraderie. You get to meet a lot of other golfers. But anybody is eligible if their club belongs to the Pennsylvania State Women's Golf Association. So if somebody belongs to Shadow Lakes, if they belong to Cranberry Highlands, and it's not necessarily a membership, but if you actually have your handicap being held by that club, you can come join and be a part of our event. It's a great event. We have a lot of people come from around this area, but we do have some people even travel in from the Harrisburg area. And it's just a wonderful day, and we're looking for new people to meet new women and just make new friends.
Yeah, and if you want to call the pro shop at the Indiana Country Club, 724-465-5322. And that website Sally gave you was correct, but pswga.com/championship 4-ball tournaments. I know you like all sports. You still real competitive?
I am.
Yeah.
However, I had to undergo a knee operation.
That's
this
not
past
good.
December, so I'm kind of still a little bit out of commission right now.
Hey, Sally, Jimmy Joe Savage is shooting this. He, of course, dear friends with Frank Dawson. We do a lot of stuff at Legacy Studios, and I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about your father and East Liverpool and him as a competitor, not just as an athlete, but as a great attorney that he was. Dear friend of mine, always looking out for me, and I'm very fortunate and grateful for that. But talk about your dad, the late Tim Shear, just a little bit, then we'll say goodnight.
Well, first, my dad instilled my competitive nature in me, and you just asked Beth if she's still competitive. I was playing cornhole last week at the pit tailgates, and the one guy who was down across the way said, look at her. I still have my tongue out the side of my mouth while I'm throwing it. I'm looking totally determined. We had to win. And we did win. I think it was 21-17. But my dad instilled that in me when I was little. I mean, we'd run the paper route, the Post-Gazette, and he would time us. and everything. You had to get better the next time, and you had to get better. But he taught us all how to shoot hoops, and he'd be down there playing with us. And by the way, this week was always his favorite week. Pitt, Penn State, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, but how are you going to stop Saquon Barkley? Tomorrow night, Greg Diola's Legacy Studios or somewhere talking more about it. 246 total yards. I mean, McSorley's good, but this guy's a Heisman Trophy candidate. I know they're going to try to, do stack the box, do whatever against this guy, but it's going to be really hard. I'm hoping for the best. Last year, 42-39, but can we please, somebody tell me, we please maybe can find a way to beat Penn State? What do you think?
Well,
Hey, Rob.
What?
Do you remember when we went to Morgantown and they were number 1 in the country? And nobody gave us a shot. Not one person. 13-9.
Gotta tell you something, as much as I love Penn State football, I give it up to be there to watch the Lady Panthers tip off. Sitting there with my daughter and Sally and her bride, and you and your husband, I'd be a happy man. That's a good thing, and it's a good life. Sally, I love you. Thank you so much. I wish you nothing but the best and with this wonderful tournament. And thanks for telling me about Ruth. It's a small world. I never knew that I was living so close to greatness, and what she did is as important as any other headline in the history of sports in Western Pennsylvania and the tri-state, okay?
Well, thank you for having me on to honor Ruth. That's just very special for her and special for all her friends and family. And good luck to you with everything coming up, Beth.
Thank you, Sally. You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Okay.
that'll do it for me. Can I go have a meatball now? Gonna go home. Your Pratt Pack. Good night from the Club at Shadow Lakes.